John's team. What do you think the nation would be talking about?
The snow.
Oh. Gemma, straight in there.
Well, because it was, like, really changed all the colour of the country and stuff.
How do you mean it's changed the colour of the country? Is it quite insightful?
No, because when you look out your window, like, obviously there's grass and there's grey buildings and, like, you drive through London, but when it snows, it's beautiful. So I think that's a hot topic to talk about.
That's good.
Yeah. It's a cold topic.
Oh, yeah.
First reason why John doesn't have a girlfriend, that is.
In a continuing series, let's see how high we can get. There's my voice, that's number 2. Hello, number 3.
You know who I envy in the snow, in this weather? It's the only time of the year I envy dog walkers. Because I just think, oh, it'd be great, you know, when they have the dog has a crap and you've got something warm in your hand for a bit.
Have a look at this car. This is a driver that basically... He cleared his windscreen. How could he possibly have an accident when he's prepared that thoroughly?
Do you know what I did to de-ice my car? I'd boil, like, 3 kettles, and then when they were hot, just chuck one over it.
That can crack the window screen, though.
Excellent intervention from Gemma Collins, yeah?
Why?
Because you're putting boiling hot water on cold, so it can crack.
I can't believe we're getting science.
Yeah.
I'm really impressed. We're doing a bit of science together. So hot water on cold, don't do it.
Yeah, because it will crack and shatter and it could be dangerous.
Because it expands too quickly, isn't it?
Yeah.
It was very busy. It was very busy, though. A friend of mine works in a puffer jacket factory. And he said they just can't kill the geese fast enough. He said, we're in there just... So they're just chucking grenades in there now.
Richard, you obviously think the snow is very dangerous because you're on a news radio channel.
And the news reports often say things like, they always say, only take an essential journey, don't take any non-essential journeys. And often the reporter saying that is in a tiny little village somewhere, and they'll have driven their quite big outside broadcast vehicle down a tiny little road into a village to tell you what you already know, that it snowed.
And then they're telling you don't take non-essential journeys. Who's going out for a spin anymore?
Well, one person's essential journey isn't another's. For example, I consider it essential for me to drive around counting snowmen. Somebody's got to do that, you know, count the snowman, height, you know. I can't do the weight, that's tricky. Every time I see a snowman, I always think to myself, God, I must get round to building a snowman.
Why don't you stop driving around looking at them and use that time to build a snowman?
Or take one.
Get a van if there is one you really like, with 2 coals for the eyes and carrot for the nose, perfect.
Do they have a tradition of building snowmen in Germany? Is it
we have got the finest snowmen in the world.
Well, I want to ask about German snowmen. Do they put the coal underneath the carrot? That would look good, wouldn't it? That would look good. Put a bit of coal there, like that.
Let's have a look and see if the snow is up there. Yes, Britain continues to be battered by freezing weather. Conditions in Birmingham were described as appalling, with no food on the shelves, schools shut and emergency services stretched to breaking point. And then it began to snow.
What's happened to you?
The horse sandwiches.
Oh, the horse sandwiches.
They've been talking about horse.
The horse sandwiches is a really nice way of putting it.
I'd love a horse sandwich. Who doesn't? Yeah, but it was the burgers and they got tested and it's full of horse and badger.
Don't know if there was badger in it, but there was definitely... And it happened in Ireland, didn't they? They tested the burgers and they said this has got... It's 30% horse, was one of the burgers.
Good.
Have you eaten horse?
Yeah, I've eaten horse, yeah. What? I've eaten horse.
Where did you eat horse?
Where do I eat horse? In a horse restaurant. A horse salad. I like it in a salad, just a big lump of horse on the top. I like salad niçoise, where you have a piece of tuna. I just have salad, a big lump of horse on the top.
So the people who kind of made the horse burgers said it was a mistake. It can't be a mistake. How do you unless they've mistaken a horse for a cow?
I think it's a bit more like, you know when you get dolphin in tuna? Oh,
You know,
we're back to
it's
tuna
like-
again.
Yeah, and you know, when you catch your cows, you go out into the field with a big net to catch a load of cows. and you
sometimes you might get a horse.
occasionally, you'll get a couple of horses.
Yeah.
caught
So that's
up
why
in
if you
that.
buy a burger, you should always get a horse-friendly burger.
Yeah. So you throw the net over and you drag them all off to the squashing plant. They just squash them flat, the burgers.
In fairness, what has happened, right? I mean, OK, some of the burgers were 29% horse, and that is a lot of horse in a burger. If you're expecting it to be a burger, you could eat a horse and cart, and it wouldn't be 29% horse. In fact, though, some of them are only like 0.01%, and they said it wasn't necessarily horse meat. It wasn't like strands of horse that you pull out between your teeth. It was horse DNA, and that could be anything. And I'll stop you there, Jimmy. What that could have been, that could have been the horse in the field who said, "Where are my mates gone?" And all the cows, I'm going to follow their footpath and I'm going to find them. And they follow them all the way into an abattoir and see that they've been turned into burgers. And the horse just cried into the burgers. That is enough to have horse DNA in your burger. That's what probably could have happened.
Yeah.
I don't think it stacks up.
Horse is the very best thing to have in your burger. I mean, the shit that goes into, like, 8 burgers for 30... Like, the prices at Aldi and Lidl, I wouldn't be surprised if there was horse meat in their bananas.
Well, now you're saying...
There's 3% jockey in those Tesco burgers. Just f***ing grinding stuff in.
There's also a case of, they haven't tested haggis. I mean, what's in that? I would say a punt on at least 5% meerkat. I think all this fuss about horse burgers, do people know about glue? They know what's in glue.
Good point.
It's horses. Your Pritt stick is probably 25% Shergar.
The imagination that came up with the idea, when you look at a horse, that would be sticky.
Yeah.
If you do the right things to it, and why just horses? You know, people look at cows and it's not going to work the same way.
Yeah.
Horse.
It's a similar one with lobsters, actually. You know, you imagine the person who first dredged up probably the scariest looking animal on the earth from the bottom of the sea and went, you know what? Let's boil that alive and have it for a starter. Be delicious.
What's the weirdest meat you've had?
I've had reindeer, delish,
Yeah.
until my kid said, "You ate Rudolph." I was like, "Are you still believing in Rudolph?" He's 18. And...
If you eat meat all the time, the chances are... Like, every football game you go to, some bloke comes up with a caravan that he's stuck a grill in, and he goes, "You want meat?" And you just go, "Yeah, it's £2." And then you eat it. You don't know what's in there. Could be bloody anything, couldn't it? They did investigations at all the football grounds, and one of the things I read was Swansea City were selling out-of-date pate. I just thought, what's happened to football? Swansea City fans at games going, "Bryn, does this pate taste all right to you?" It's a bit tart. I can't tell if that's because the apricots clashing with the cardamom or if it's...
Let's have a look and see if horse sandwiches is up there. People have been talking about there are traces of horse meat have been found in several supermarket burgers. Silvercrest Food, one of the suppliers of the horse meat contaminated burgers, is said to be an award-winning company. And it turns out the award they won was the Grand National in 2012. What have the nation been talking about over the last week?
Faster trains.
Faster trains.
Between Manchester, Leeds and London.
Manchester, Leeds and London. You're going the long way round, aren't you?
Well, you know, they can't get the one that they're doing now on time, so are they going to make it 1 hour and 6 if they can't do it in 2 hours from Manchester to London?
I'm quite happy with 2 hours to Manchester. I think you need a little bit of time to prepare yourself for going up north.
I don't like this fast train because I don't like being early. I'm going to... You know, because it takes an hour, you're going to be early, you're just going to be hanging about. Get a slow one, keep warm.
I don't think you will be early because it's not going to be built for 20 years.
Yeah. 2033, isn't it?
Yes, it's going to be finished in 2033.
I thought we'd be teleporting by then. I haven't got jetpacks, I don't want to be alive, let alone clinging on for life in a super fast buffet car, like.
They're saying it's for, like, European business people, though, that are coming over. But surely if you've had, like, a flight from Moscow You're not going to land and then go, how much to Manchester? 2 hours. F*** me, I'll go back.
Where's he going back to?
Don't know.
Is it really going to go 260 miles an hour?
Yeah, that's what they're saying.
It's a shame, because you're not going to be able to stick your head out the window anymore. It'd be too dangerous. I used to love doing that. I did it all the way from Cardiff to Bangor once. God knows how many insects I ate, but I was...
Too fast, isn't it?
Too fast.
You'll have to change train impressions for kids. Like, it can't go... Won't do that, will it? It'll just go...
That won't be as good.
It wasn't that long ago that they binned Concorde, which was really quick getting to the States because it cost too much money. But now they've decided to spend 30 billion just to go to Manchester.
Are you saying we should get Concords to Manchester?
We could... That 30 billion, yeah.
Well, for that kind of money, I mean, there's other things we could spend that money on, aren't there? I mean, it's a huge amount.
Yeah,
we could have a free bar on the train for 20 years.
Instead of building a train line, why don't they have that thing in supermarkets where they send the money down a tube? That thing where the money pops up in a tube. That's so quick. Why don't they just build one of those? Just goes,
thing in
supermarkets? Those things, they come up in a tube, and it's like a plastic thing, and they open it, and they put all the money in, and then it goes doof, and then it appears somewhere else. So they put the money in, they screw it, and then they pop it in a tube, doof, it's gone. Literally seconds, and then you can hear somebody in the distance going, oh. Why not a massive one of those?
Shoot people out of cannons.
I don't think that's practical, Joe.
Not all right, not one then, 3.
3 cannons.
One to Totten, then change, get another cannon. Leeds. There's like a 20-minute wait there.
And then get another cannon.
And then another cannon there.
I could see that if there's a problem, like a cannon replacement service.
Yeah. An idea.
OK, let's see if the new high-speed rail line is one of the most talked about things this week. Yes, the most talked about thing. The government have unveiled plans for a new high-speed rail line. It said it will cost £32.7 billion, or £35 billion if you get a return.
I like the look of that young man there.
You have chosen Cian Egan. I just always, when I say your name, I feel like I'm saying Kevin Keegan, but I've had a stroke. Here's your question. Most people would rather be in a band than a solo singer. True or false?
I'd like to be in Little Mix. I'd like to be like the one and go, what's he doing in Little Mix? But no, but they get a new member, then Little Mix have announced they've got a new member, and it's me. What would you...
I reckon most people prefer to be in a band.
Because you got friends around you.
Yeah, it's like, you know, the whole idea of being in a band, you know. It's a bit cooler than I'm a singer on my own.
A bit cooler? You know you were in Westlife, right?
Yes, I know I was in Westlife.
Can you name all the other members?
Did you know each other growing up, all of you guys?
Yeah, we did, yeah. We went to school together.
That's proper band then, right? That's
did
what
you?
want.
I didn't realise you went to school together. I thought you were...
No, we went to school together.
So you knew each other since what age?
Well, me, Shane and Mark we were in the same class as each other, and we started the band up, and then Brian and Nicky joined about a year later.
At what point did Louis swoop?
Very early.
So are you a solo artist now?
No, I'm not a solo artist. I was a member of a boy band for 15 years.
And your voice is just broken.
It's just breaking. It's only happened in 3 years.
I had to leave. They threw you out. OK. What about you, Stephen? Would you rather be in a band? What would you think?
I was in a band at school, yeah.
You were in a band at school. What were they called?
They were called Aragon.
Oh, they're already my favourite band.
We went through a lot of names. We were Zenith for a while. But then we realised there was a double glazing firm called Zenith. We recorded an album, The Wizard's Dream.
The Wizard's Dream? Why not The Wizard's Sleeve?
Is this true? Is this absolutely
it's all true.
But why do you think you didn't make it?
Because we were ahead of our time, Sean.
Right.
And behind our time. There was no time that we would have fitted in at all.
John, any musical aspirations? Would you ever...
The only band I would like to be in is the Proclaimers.
Why the Proclaimers? Why would you want to be...
Why would you not want to be in the Proclaimers? There's a song that just ends with 5 minutes of them both screaming the word Gene. Gene! That's it. And they're in a band and they do that, and they're so cool. But they hate the English so much. It's a real barrier. I'd have to pretend from the beginning to be a brother that they didn't know about. Hello!
Jess, have you ever been...
I haven't been in a band, but I've been in quite a few bands' videos.
Which videos were you in?
I did 2 Duran Duran videos, and then I was in 2 Soul to Soul videos, a Beloved video, the
Soul
one
to
where
Soul,
everyone was
Beloved Duran
naked,
Duran.
bar a few little, you know, plasters and...
You were in that one?
I was in that one,
What's
honey.
plasters?
But, you know, elastoplast and the right, you
What
know...
a sexy look that is.
think-
I'm
Well, just so
naked and I
that
might
you
have
know, you
cut
could
my nipples.
preserve your muscles.
I'm in an Elton John video. You see, he keeps it at home.
Sure, why not?
I've only got one song on my iPod, which is Rock Around the Clock. And I have it on shuffle. So 1, 2, 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock, 5, 6, 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock, it finishes. 1, 2, 3, 4 o'clock. Just for hours on end
Happy
driving.
Days.
Drives
Happy
my
Days.
wife
It
mental.
answers a lot of questions, though. That's why she drives like that.
1, 2, 3. Over and over again.
OK, let's get some on. So most people would rather be in a band than a solo singer. What are you going to go for, Sean?
Band.
Band?
You think band? What do you guys think?
I think solo singer.
Solo.
Solo singer, OK. I can tell you the answer is 72% of people would rather be in a band than a solo singer. You're right.
Oh, it's been Valentine's Day, hasn't it? I imagine people are talking about love and all that stuff.
Who did you send a Valentine to?
I didn't, no. I view Valentine's Day like the Polish food aisle of a supermarket. I don't really know what it's for, but I like to look at it.
I've been thinking, because they've been talking about different gifts you can give people on Valentine's Day, and the worst gift apparently is petrol station flowers. But then how do you know they're petrol station flowers? I mean, you can't actually... unless, of course, they've all been mangled through that night hatch. But also, it gets a bad press, the petrol station flowers, because if you buy flowers in a florist, there's no petrol, or packets of Maltesers, or anything. So actually, I would rather receive petrol station flowers from someone, because then I would know that I had a discerning lover who shopped at flexible shops.
Valentine's Day, I think it's just too much pressure, and it's for uninventive people. Everyone gives red roses and chocolates. It's like, think of something yourself, like, do something a little bit more creative. Like, to me,
I tried
just
that.
so...
I tried that, but it backfired.
Yeah, because it's rubbish.
What did you try, Sean?
I made a card for my wife/girlfriend lodger, and I made it myself, and she didn't like it.
That's sweet, though. No, that's...
Yeah, but I do.
better.
So what it is, I cut a picture of a heart out of a cigarette packet.
Creative.
On a card.
You know the thing about Valentine's? Valentine's is that time when you can tell people, you know, if you like them. I don't know if you read... Do you read Heat magazines? Anyone read Heat magazine?
Is that the magazine that reviews different boilers and legging jackets?
This must be in a way. I think it's different in the Republic of Ireland. Because they do a thing every year where they talk about people's weird crush. So the number one weird crush, as voted for by the British public, is Russell Howard, which doesn't seem that weird to me. Number 2, if you can see that. So you are a weird crush, which is such a terrible backhanded compliment, isn't it? So it's like saying you don't sweat much for a fat girl.
Weird crush is also John's signature lovemaking style as well.
They sent me a badge. I think it says something on it like, not quite weird enough. I mean, what a chat-up line that is. The lady's just looking for a man who says, I'm mental, but not very.
I can't help thinking, you know, if you look at this panel, there are 2 people who are single who might get on quite well. And we've got Janine.
You're single, right?
Stop me, I'm really embarrassed.
playground now.
220 done?
Yeah.
She does!
She does!
You're just not weird enough for me, Jamelia.
Just get on with it. Just, you know.
Get down to business.
I haven't got, yeah.
And it is a business with
girlfriend
me.
every bloody week.
You're going to feel pretty bad when one week I come in and I'm in a relationship and there's nothing to talk about. Me and Sue. Sue and I.
I can imagine you getting into a relationship where you're one of those couples that talk about, well, Sue and I think. Even on the show, if she wasn't here, you go, so what have people been talking about this week? And you go, well, Sue and I have been talking quite a lot about beef burgers and
I won't be
Valentines.
doing this show if I have a relationship. I ain't leaving the house, I ain't doing gigs. Comedy's just one bit. I mean, you two are in relationships. You only do comedy because you're not really happy in them.
OK, let's have a look and see if Valentine's Day's up there.